The idea of man and monster inhabiting the same body is not only a great philosophical question, but it's also been rife throughout fiction through just about all of human history. From Jekyll and Hyde to werewolves and everything in between. Humans have always been fascinated by what lies beneath our normal everyday visage, and we truly have come to love all of the fictional answers that we've been given over the years. In the late 1960s, Stan Lee, RIP, he first introduced audiences to Bruce Banner and his, shall we say, monstrous alter ego. In the 1970s, Lou Ferrigno took that same character and he turned him into a TV star. But it wasn't until more than 30 years later that we got to see the character for all of his cinematic glory. I'm Guapo Jim, and today we're going to be breaking down Hulk and why this 2003 classic about our favorite Jade powerhouse is actually a true hidden gem. So, for those of you who don't know or are too young to remember, The Hulk, or just Hulk, is a 2003 blockbuster about, the Hulk. What's really fascinating about this film is that while it is a proper superhero movie, director Ang Lee decided to take the more unorthodox approach by giving us a more psychological version of the character. While you're still gonna get a lot of the smashing that you're used to, this isn't your typical comic book origin story. It's more about rage and the idea of generational trauma and the dangerous effects that it not only has on us, but on the people around us as well. So, we as the audience, we get to follow Bruce Krenzler. I know a lot of you niggas are in the comments right now like, his name's not Krenzler. Don't worry, it'll all make sense. He's basically like this very brilliant but emotionally withdrawn scientist whose childhood was shaped by a shroud of loss and very heavy trauma. Like very, very, very heavy trauma. So while he and his scientist team are trying to create medical bioenhancements for the military, an accident exposes him to a massive dose of gamma radiation. And with that, he's got something very dormant and powerful within him, and that thing, it basically awakens. But as we've mentioned before, Bruce is very traumatized from his childhood, and overall he's fucked up from it. Like, I'm just gonna be blunt. He's very fucked up from it. So this transformation that he goes through, it's not just so much physical, but it's also an emotional transformation as well. It's very much tied to buried memories, emotional repression, and just a haunting family past. His father, as you'll watch in the film, is very, very, very much involved in everything that's going on. So if you pay attention, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. As Bruce struggles to maintain control over the beast about, he basically becomes the center of this maelstrom involving mad military fuckery, scientific ambition, and just a whole bunch of unresolved personal demons. The more that he tries to resist the change, the more powerful the monster inside him becomes. If you guys know anything about the Hulk, which I'm sure you do, you guys know that him and anger, they're like Bati and Bench, So as with any type of Hulk media, the angrier he gets, the stronger and ultimately more destructive he becomes as well. This version of the Hulk, it took all of that, but it also added a small wrinkle to it. What I mean by small is that the Hulk in this version, like in this movie, he actually changes sizes. So at some points in the movie, he's quote unquote small, and I say small for like Hulk size small. But in other times of the movie, I shit you not, this character, he's no less than 18 feet tall. And if you know the comic book character, like that's not necessarily how it usually goes, but obviously this guy took some artistic inspiration. He did his own thing with it, So if you couple that with a couple of very comic accurate set pieces, as well as just the genuine feeling emotion that all of the actors are moving with in this film, it really did add a lot of depth to a movie that was already pretty deep to begin with. Stylized visuals and very punchy action sequences, Hulk explores what happens when intellect meets instinct, when memory collides with mutation, and what happens when a man tries to outrun the parts of himself that were never truly gone. Through watching this, we actually discover that it's not so much about Bruce becoming the Hulk, but it's more about the pre-existing conditions that led him to being there in the first place. Hey, what's going on, slime? If you're watching this video right now, I'm going to assume that you're a fan of protagonists getting monstrous superpowers. If that's the case, Dracula Untold would be your shit. I actually made a video breakdown about that film, and I've left the link in the description down below. Do yourself and your boy a big favor, check it out. You will not be disappointed. I also do want to add, this is a pretty small channel, so if you're a fan of this type of content and you do want to help support Guapo Gym Ministries, I'm going to need you to like this video, subscribe, comment, share, the whole deal, all that algorithm shit. It really does help out a lot, and it helps keep the lights on in this place. With that out of the way, let's get back to the Hulk, all right? From a production standpoint, this movie had been in production for nearly 20 years before we finally saw the final product. I shit you not, this film had gone through like 6 rewrites. In some versions, Hulk was supposed to be fighting terrorists or more of his normal rogues, whereas in other versions, they literally had this guy fighting giant insect men. I know. Ang Lee didn't end up jumping on this film until the early 2000s, and by that point, he was known for being more of an artistic director whose movies, while beautifully written and beautifully shot, they were meant to bring about a whole bunch of emotional pathos, that type of thing. So by taking inspiration from very different sources, including Greek mythology, Ang Lee basically set out to create the most emotional superhero movie ever. Those are my words and they're not his, so don't go around fucking him up. While this movie, it did make beaucoup money during its box office run, critical reception of it was, you could say, mixed to say the least. Again though, because of its massive financial success, a sequel was greenlit, but as is the case with most superhero films, not to mention the whole Universal Hulk embargo thing going on, that sequel, it was shelved, and a lot of the elements of that movie were actually written into the 2008 MCU debut of the Hulk character. Side note, but at some point, I'm gonna have to do a story or make a video about the Hulk and his sordid history when it comes to getting onto the big screen. You know, I will do a proper video about it, don't worry, but TLDR, basically the long story short version, Universal Studios has really fucked this guy up, you know? We'll just leave it at that. Because of mad legalities, the 2 Hulk movies that we've gotten are probably going to be the only true Hulk movies that we're ever gonna get unless things change. If you do ever wanna watch this movie for yourself and see what I'm talking about, you can find it streaming today on Prime Video and on Apple TV. All in all, I loved this movie so much as a kid. During the early 2000s, the whole superhero craze, it was definitely in full swing. And even though a lot of people around my age would probably say that Spider-Man, the 2002 version, was their favorite superhero movie of that time, this movie right here always had a special place in my heart. Again, you guys know me, I'm a comic guy at heart, so it's like I know exactly what I'm talking about. But this depiction of the Hulk was by far the most comic book accurate, like bar none, in terms of color, in terms of rage, in terms of emotion, even the purple pants, like they had the right hues and everything. Like it was spot on, you know? Ang Lee and his VFX team, I'm telling you, them niggas, they were in their bag for this one still. And I even gotta give a special shout out to Ang Lee, because I bet you guys didn't know this, but he was actually the ones doing the motion capture for the Hulk. So I mean, my guy killed that. Like, you really do feel the strength and the freedom, like all of that shit. You felt that aspect in this film. I'm telling you, the running and the jumping scenes when he was doing that shit, too hype, way too hype. And when this nigga was fighting the tanks, say less, dog. Say less. Eric Bana, he did his thing as Bruce, I'm telling you. And even Thunderbolt Ross, like that actor, he killed it. Like, that was like, if you're asking me, J. Jonah Jameson levels accurate. Like, just like they plucked him from the comic book and put him in live action. It was perfect. I don't know why they don't keep using that actor now. I'm assuming it probably has to do with age, but I mean, shit, like Harrison Ford is old too, so I don't know. He killed it though. You have my bae, Jennifer Connelly, like her and them eyebrows, I don't know what it is, but she was Betty in this film and she killed it too, you know? They really did have a decent chemistry, and the relationship bits, at least if you're asking me, they felt pretty real, they felt genuine. Of course though, everything's not gravy and shit, you know? Like that's just, I gotta quit with the pleasantries and I gotta tell you guys how I really feel. I like the idea of bringing in David Banner, so like the dad. I thought that was cool, but the whole absorbing man bit, I was not fucking with that at all. I'm not gonna lie. You know, that was definitely lost on me. They could have done something else. Even like the whole super dogs bit when he put Hulk's blood into the dogs, that part was shit. You know, you could pretty much say like the whole third act was shit. Like it was shit. I'm not gonna lie. If it was up to me personally, I would have picked a different villain altogether. Like I maybe would have had Talbot stay alive and maybe give him superpowers, or I would have kept the war aspect more focused on the Hulk and on Thunderbolt Ross, just for that emotional aspect, something like that, you know? But I mean, even when you just look at the cinematography and the way that they shot it and how they would split the screen at times to kind of replicate comic book panels, I love that shit. Like some people might watch it and say that's tacky, but I thought it was really cool in that regard. Like it seemed really artistic at the time. And even the cameos themselves, like I know Stan Lee always likes to come in his own movies, but having him there and then also having Lou Ferrigno, like when I saw the two of them together, I got up in my seat. And I mean, like that was like a kid. That was me as a kid watching this movie, getting that hype. So it's like even as an adult watching it now, I still chuckle and smile when I see the two of them together. Anyway, you guys know me, I'm all about some next shit, and I just wanted to let you guys know why I thought that Hulk isn't just some throwaway B movie about our favorite emerald behemoth, but why it's actually a true hidden gem. Thank you for making it this far. If you're a fan of this type of content, I'll need you to like, subscribe, and comment down below on which other shows or movies were true hidden gems. Until the next time that we meet, stay safe, later days.